We are live. Viola Diamond here. And tonight I have this beautiful privilege once more and once again to have this extraordinary person that I admire, learn from a lot and get all those inspirations, or many of them. This time we are talking about the connection code, relationships, how to navigate love and connections. And here I have this beautiful person, the Dominic Knight, world-class mentor, author of the Endgamers, the book, Architects of Destiny. And he's been speaking on our events in London. We've done a couple of lives before, so we got that vast library of our conversations that started with that, and then we went through those different personal talks, so you can get inspired by that. So here it is, Dominic Knight, the mind architect. Here we are. Good evening. Oh, I can't hear you. Wait.
Okay.
There we are.
Thank you for the wonderful introduction, and very much looking forward to this evening's conversation.
Can you hear me? Can I hear you? Yes.
Yes. Very clear.
Wonderful. So as we are preparing soon in London once more, we're going to have this beautiful conference, the connection code. We're talking about the relationships unfiltered. So what's going on really into our relationships, whether we are single, whether we are in relationships, how this flows into our professional life, how to navigate that all life that we have in our hands, consciously, unconsciously, from the point of Endgamers, the Architects of Destiny. I love your book. There's so many inspirations over there, and yes. So we, where do we go with that? Mr. Dominic, because you did write this book, The Endgamer, the Architect of Destiny. Yes, is to realize that you hold the blueprint, whether you are building a billion company or a soulful partnership. The foundation starts within. And I'm talking about that $1 billion company, because as you were working or having your practice in Harley Street for over 20 years, you've been dealing with the people, their emotions and roadways, and also navigating those businesses that they became that unicorn businesses.
Yes.
So...
And sorry to interrupt you. And the reality is they're all built upon relationships. Every single time. And you'll find that relationship with oneself, relationship with another, when one is absolutely in love, right? It works as an ignition switch. And sets the person on fire to achieve everything that they want. You can't get around it. And the happiness in life is dependent on our relationships. Our happiest moments of our life, of all of human existence, it's to do with connection. And there's been so much scientific research. And in fact, it wouldn't even need scientific research. That the area of happiness when it comes to relationships, but it's a double-edged sword. Just as it can create such levels of happiness and connection, it can create the complete opposite as well. And this is why learning to communicate effectively, establish and build meaningful relationships, become that person that is attractive in a way where you can not only entice, but draw to you your person, your specific person, your ideal person. It's not about chasing or going after or pursuing. It's about you become that person, right? And in terms of building up companies, right, seducing success, being able to communicate as effectively as possible and inspire others to believe in your dream and then build it out from there. This is all purely to do with relationships.
It is, but then it's like coming from the position of end gamer. So the one who already has it, whatever I'm dreaming of, I make the project, or I'm like within those realms of like, yes, let's do the dream do come true. Let's create the passage that my dream comes true. And then they often say like, oh, you're living in La La Land. But I say like, listen, I love my La La Land. In my La La Land, many things manifest just like that. Just because I believed it, it's like I can have it, I can do it, or somehow, God knows how, I don't even want to interfere anymore. I just like, I said that, and it's coming one way or another. But you know what happened to me when that started to happen to me, when I kind of let it go, and when I've seen in the way that, oh, this is this car that I would love to have. And then, oh, that would be so nice. And I left it. And then I was looking at the couples, yes. And oh, that would be so nice to experience that. Not looking through the laser, that the prism that they are very young or they are very old or whatever, but just for that feeling that it was there. And then like, oh, that would be so nice. How would that feel? And so on. That was for me. And then like eventually, one by one, some of them much faster, some of them not so fast. Some of them, there are many of them that are on the way. But I know that it's happening. It is happening now, as we speak. So how do you, from that NLP and from your consultancy, how do you kind of seduce your dream, your project to reality?
Well, I mean, first and foremost is to remove any conditions off of it. Like, let's go to like basic level of relationship. One might say, well, I can have this spark and crazy connection with someone, but they'll be unstable. No, like you can have it all. You can have that, and the person can be your best friend. You can have safety, security. It's not one or the other. Whenever we come forward with something, our minds, for whatever reason, comes up with a whole set of rationalizations and reasons why it can't be so. I can have this, but in order for me to have this, this and this and this has to happen. No, it's about clearing away all of those conditions and getting very, very clear about what you absolutely truly want. Because what happens is when you're about to plan what you want, then you'll think, well, I need the right education, I need X, Y amount of money, I don't know this person, that person. No, strip all of that away, just get clear. I want you to consider the following, and this is why people don't do this, right? For example, people start out, with these great expectations, and they end up in this relationship. Let's say their first relationship, it doesn't work out, it's complete chaos. Then what happens is they walk around with this projection that the next person may be like that. Or they walk around life presuming that everyone's like that. They overgeneralize. And if you follow along with me here, what they're doing, in fact, is the person that hurt them has not only built a cage around them, but they've also built up their limitations. Right? So it's about deconstructing all of that. Like, you're not your biography. And if you went through something unpleasant or someone was unpleasant towards you, that's not how the rest of humanity is. That was that person. And they also may have hurt you, but you are also maybe ignoring how they served you, how they benefited you, how the unpleasant experience birthed light to what you truly want. Right? So it's not a negated experience. I was watching something because I was watching something online a few days ago, and it got me thinking about this. If you look at the tabloids, millions of people listen to it, read it, but 98% of it is complete nonsense. It's not true. It's just gossip and it's just drama. Well, you know what? When you go online, sometimes you find some people out there who have millions of followers and they're speaking complete nonsense, things which are completely not true. There was a psychologist and she was speaking about how this woman needed real healing from her trauma of her past. Her trauma was her father really treated her well. So she had a great life. She ends up in a relationship and the guy mistreats her and she gives her all to this guy. And it's because she had such a great start to life, she was traumatized by that. That's not true. That's complete nonsense. She just chose the wrong person. So what the psychologist was suggesting to her, that in her next relationship, she doesn't give her all to this person. Well, that's completely incorrect. Maybe the other person deserves her all, right?
I wouldn't be able to go like halfway. How can you go like, you know, just like, I think like when you start a new relationship, when you start your business or something, you want to give it all. You want to just kind of be there fully. And you actually, if you are very conscious about, you see, you feel that the other one is like holding back. And if that game starts and, you know, it's like, do I want to play games? Come on.
Yeah. You see, life is so limited, and that's such a true point. Why should one withhold how they are as a person because of a hurt that someone gave them from the past? It's a projection, right?
How do I get rid of me, the others? We all have some kind of limiting beliefs and some patterns, some blueprints. How do we let go of that when suddenly, well, you are in that business meeting or you are in that love nest and boom, the idea comes and it just ruins you kind of from inside. You're just like, really? Now?
Well,
how do I direct that?
At any moment where you have this shift inside, if it's a projection, it's to learn to zoom out of it. It's to recognize that it's just a sensation in your body. If it's genuine intuition, that's very different. But what you'll find is that most people, they're just reactionary. So they'll react to something as opposed to respond or look at something through fresh eyes. You see, and it's learning to walk through the world with a complete awareness, present moment awareness, without projections, but also recognize that you can utilize discernment. Like, some people are not going to be great and some people are going to be very good. It's learning to discern and see it for what it is without projections.
Easier said than done. I'm talking
truly is.
Experience. It's not easy. I'm really reactive and it's like lots of things are going through. And yes, highly intuitive as well. And there's like so many multiverses like flowing at the same time. So I got to really apply the sieve. And then like to zoom out, there are a couple of points when it's so easy to zoom out straight away when the thought comes or that kind of feeling, like straight away snap out of it. If I want, then that thought or feeling will get into the story. And then it's like, and go deeper and deeper and deeper. And then all universe like sits down. And to snap out of that is like much, much, much difficult. So to having all those blueprints, and here I have those beautiful, beautiful question. Look at that, the blueprint. So being an architect of destiny, how much of our attraction to others is a conscious choice or unconscious echo of our childhood blueprint, and how to navigate through that?
Well, look, here's the thing, we can go pretty deep here. Like, the past and our interpretation of the events of the past is malleable. It can be shaped, it can be reshaped, right? And it's, if we misinterpret the past, like for example, let's say someone had parents that were never there, that were super strict on them, and it was miserable. They may be denying that they developed a great level of independence and drive as a result of that. If we polarize and we look at the past as one-sided, we get penalized for it. If we're able to balance it, we neutralize this victimhood and we neutralize the past charge. And that way we elevate ourselves to that next level, right? So it's observing, yes, things happened in the past as a child that was unpleasant, right? But the best thing about the past is it's over. And you got through all of that, and there were important lessons and things that you learned and skills that you developed. Of course, we're not going to extremes. There are very bad things that have happened to many people, but once is enough. It's about having the person rise above all of that and become the greatest version of themselves. And if you look at it, the most creative people in this world, you'll find that they have gone through the greatest levels of trauma. Mm-hmm. So from the ashes, they drew something really good. So it's not to keep someone there. And this is the danger of a lot of therapies, right? Is that they keep people stuck by talking and relaying about a polarized story which isn't even true, because they are only narrating the negative aspect of it as opposing to allow the person to move on from it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's interesting. Like in Kundalini Yoga, which I share every morning, we have those sutras, and one of them, it's like I always say about that tattooed on my forehead, there is the way through every block. And I could really quickly spiral down into negative. But remembering that sutra, that motto, affirmation, you name it, there is a way through every block, then that means that there is a way through every block. Just get your together and find a way. There is someone out there that is able to have different perspective on that. Because when we are in some kind of discomfort, drama, whatever the name for that situation is, we can snap out of it. I know it's not always easy, especially for the women. It's not so easy. We get so attached so quickly. But knowing that there is a way through that block and everything will change. But I just got to look at those things or events, people, to see another perspective, or actually see them, him, her, or that situation as a master that allowed you, me, to look at myself, the actions, or actually that line from different angle, the one that I wasn't aware of. So here is that those subconscious plays, games, tricks, and all the same things are happening, whether it's the personal relationship, within the couples, within the businesses. Those blueprints are present everywhere. So once we get hold of that, it's like the life can shift beautifully.
And it's about having the awareness of that, but recognizing that you're not buying into that being part of your identity, as in, well, this will always occur because it's been that way in the past. It's deriving the lesson from that. And when one does that, and the lesson isn't that the person's a victim, otherwise it will keep perpetuating. When they derive the lesson and they extract the good, it's like an alchemist, right? You're taking that base metal and you're turning it into gold, and there absolutely is no other way. And when you do that, you neutralize the charge from the past and the pattern stops. You see, this is the thing. This is why, like, let's say we go back to the whole thing of like relationships. If one has a consistent pattern occurring, it's not, well, it's just all guys are crappy or this or that. No, there's something within you that's attracting that. And it may be as simple as recognizing that if one is really truly looking for love, to look at it through and for its purest form, right, as opposed to the illusion of it, right? You see, if it's a projection, a fantasy, then no one and nothing can live up to that fantasy. But if it's real and it's authentic and it's what you truly want and that what you truly desire, of course you can have it all. The first thing to do is step out of your own way and stop imposing conditions upon yourself. Because people will say, well, I need to be this age or that age, or I need X amount of income, I need X, Y, Z. Look, no. You need to strip away from all of that and take it to its fundamental form. It's how you make that person feel and how that person makes you feel. Right? It's about looking at it from that lens without any desperation. If someone wants something from you, what happens? You pull away. That's how the universe operates. If you're desperate for something, what happens? It will elude you. If you're abundant within yourself, it's there. If you look at people who have a whole array of admirers and they have no shortage of prospects, of people that they want, they're not looking for a partner. Why is that? Right? Quite interesting. If they were desperate for someone, there won't be anyone there. Right? Literally.
Yeah. That was the time when I decided not to have anybody in my life because
and what happened?
I said, no, I'm done with this sort of whatever. Yeah, it was beautiful, but it just I want to focus on myself. And then like I remember like many of my friends and healers or teachers like calling and say, oh, you got to heal this, you have to do that, you have to do this, because otherwise you are with the people, you have to heal yourself, you have to put your shit together. And I was just like, my God, I'm so tired of your advice. You know what? Did I ask you for advice? No. So don't give it to me. When I am ready on my own terms, and I will know that you hold the answer, because you have that together and you are my inspiration, then I will come to you. Otherwise, stuff it. No, leave me alone. I lost many friends, but that's fine. They were not friends. They were just people that I knew.
Well, I mean, ultimately, there's a time to heal and there's a time to like live your life and start getting on with life, right? Fully and completely, right? And many people will offer advice, but it's like, it's better to just, it's better to give advice to one who asks for it as opposed to offer it.
Exactly. It's like, yes, that's the thing. Ask and it is given. Otherwise, just putting another broccoli onto my plate when I'm allergic to broccolis.
Yes.
That's it. Well, it's so funny. I mean, yes, and coming back to that, like when I was putting away, no, I want to focus on myself. Then suddenly I was like, ooh, all of that around. I was like, oh my God, I'm in the jungle. I did not see the jungle before.
You see, there's a real universal dynamic to that. When one is complete within themselves, right, then what happens is you have an opportunity, if you want to meet someone, because that's how you're carrying your energy. You're not in a needing frame. So when you're not in a needing frame, you become very attractive.
Mm-hmm. That's the way we came here to that beautiful question. For those people who are currently single.
Yes.
Or you want to attract something, whether it's the job or maybe some dream to come true. How can we as people use the mindset architecture that you are teaching of and sharing to stop seeking a partner, a job, a validation, let's say, and start commanding magnetic field to attract to ourselves what we desire, what we plan, and so on.
And that was the wording was perfect about like validation. Like if you don't need validation, what happens? Right? Everyone is drawn to you. When you don't need validation, you can be in front of a, you know, a good president or royalty. They will be drawn to you energetically, unconsciously, because you're seeing them as an equal. You're not putting them above you, and you're not trying to get some type of validation, or you're not putting someone down. There's such power in that, in poise, in equilibrium and non-judgment of others. That's what makes a man or a woman incredibly attractive, because they're not looking for validation of that other person. They might find them incredibly attractive. They feel that there can be a real connection between them. What happens? Then they're drawn towards them. Why? Because they're not looking for an outcome or result. I must get this person. My identity is dependent on that person liking me. If that's the case, the person withdraws from you right away.
Mm.
And therefore, yes.
Yes. So about that, because it's quite interesting how we can navigate through that when within the relationship, or whether I'm single and suddenly feel that need that, well, I want to have a partner now. I want to be validated in my work. I want everyone to see what I do, or, you know, send me those great things, and whatever we may. Actually, I had like a couple of days ago during the Rise and Shine. That's why I just came through that validation.
Yes.
When the title of this series is called "It's Good to Feel Good," and those
Yes.
practices we do for 40 days every single morning. So once we start, it's like the main theme is good to feel good, because of course it's good to feel good. So when we move our bodies, we breathe, we chant, we sing, we play with our voices, we become more aware of the movement, of the synchronicities within ourselves. And I woke up, I was like a little bit like under the weather, and I was like, something is cooking. I could feel that something is there, and I could not recognize that feeling. And during the mantra, when we were chanting like, I am the light of my soul, I am beautiful, I am bountiful, I am bliss, I am, and usually when we go I am, I say lots of different words, and to everyone to hear, and they can say to themselves like who they are, to validate themselves. I was like, oh my God, it's like the validation. It's like I was like thirsty for that. And I was just sitting at the end, and when listening to that beautiful piece of music, and the tears were going, and it's like straight away that kind of timeline went through the validation, like of not being recognized, loved, and supported enough, and all the stories of the life. And but then I was like, okay, so how can I do this for myself? And then I had the idea, because I did not reply to many messages that I had on the YouTube, and then under those different videos over the months before, there were those beautiful comments, and I was like, oh my God. I was like, look, I was just like a couple of minutes ago looking for validation, thinking that my work is like nonsense, like what I do is just like nonsense. You know, I had this thing, and then suddenly it's like coming from the months a year before, and there was that such a wonderful list from people all around the world watching the videos, because they were recorded like long time ago, and saying all those beautiful words. And I was like, wow. And I remember like my teacher and was always saying, remember that the light knows what you want, and the light will always organize everything for you before you even get there. At first, when he told me that those years ago, I did not understand what he was talking about. But as the journey continues, now I know. And those, let's say, those validations, that recognition, that thanks, that everything, it was already there. I was just not aware of that.
Yes. it was always present, and that's very beautiful that you were sharing this. It's so true. And if you look at what that master had said to you as well, like everything is always there. Like this is why when you become aware of the form that your desire is in currently, then what happens is you create the potential for that desire to appear. Like someone might say, well, I don't have someone there, but they may have a friend at work that they're really connected with. They might have someone that they have a massive crush on. See, they have aspects and fragments of that. It's there, not in the form of the complete person that one may be looking for. But when you recognize the form it's currently in, you literally create the potential for that person to appear.
Yeah, it's beautiful. And I also remember from that time when the people were trying to fix me, I recognized that.
Yeah.
I said, no, because if at this very moment, it's like who I am right now, the only person that I can attract to myself is my equal and opposite. I don't want to deal with this shit. Like, no, I just like, I got to realign. I need to step into my own path once again to see who I am. What is it that I truly want? Where this path is going, and how I would love to live my life, instead of like stepping into someone else's life and be suddenly being invisible, because I just want to be so validated, seen, recognized, and so and so and so. So that kind of childhood drama or trauma, whatever, from it was very present. And I said, this is the thing that I need to heal.
You see, it brought that up. And the right thing is the right thing that you done was to start to work on that. Because when you work on that and you get to that place where you feel good within yourself, of course, it's wonderful to have someone there. And we all need external validation. And, there's nothing in this world as powerful as a union between two people and love, right? We all need that. We're not denying that. But when you start to work on yourself and you feel complete without the need for that external validation, like it has to happen, then you create the potential to attract the right person into your life, right? You become that, you become that star where like others will start orbiting and they'll start drawing towards you like gravity. But it's not about pure pursuit. Like a guy, I think for men, it's important that when you are dating someone, then you start pursuing them, then you start building something beautiful. But it's not a matter of just like pursuing and then the journey stops. No, like why can't one like fall in love every morning of their life, or love can become strong? It's possible. Why not? Just because people preach, well, it's all great in the beginning. No, it can get better. Why not?
It always gets better.
Yes.
I mean, like, come on. It's just like you work on that. I think like when your initial kind of thought or idea, the same with business. You're not creating a business or to finish it next week or next year. I think like when you build something, when you step into relationship, whether it's the partnership, whether it's that romantic relationship or the business, I think you just kind of go all in because you want to create a masterpiece.
Of course, like there's no half measures, like be fully committed. Right? This is the thing. And ultimately, like in life, whatever you do, it gets to a place where it starts plateauing. But if you keep going, then you get that next spike of growth. Right? And the other thing to understand is how, like, love is a synthesis of complementary opposites. So it has like, it can be very supportive, but it can be challenging as well. Right? Everything is needed. Right? If two people are identical, one isn't necessary. So what we're drawn to and who we're attracted to becomes a complementary opposite. Like you can really build something beautiful and incredible with them. right? It's understanding that, recognizing that, and being the best person that you can. And here's the thing as well, it's an area that if you want to really master anything, it takes time to understand, to learn. We're living in such a like fast food culture and short attention span and just swiping and this and that. Like there's no longevity in any of that. It's just fake. It's just as nutritious as just getting some fast food, right? It takes depth and commitment and follow through to make something truly magical. It
Yeah,
really does.
it does. How to recognize, like on the dating scale, that when to make those, as I call it, checkpoints? Are we still on the same path?
Well,
When we meet, we kind of like physically attracted and so on, and then that like woof, that love back suddenly, as you said, reach the plateau and stuff, and then sometimes you just look at the others like, well, I'm not sure, or it's like, oh, suddenly you see those differences that, oh, I don't eat broccoli. Of course I eat broccoli, but let's say,
Yeah.
oh, I don't eat broccoli, and then he always puts the broccolis there, so he's not aware of it. And come on, don't give me broccolis. And those little things that suddenly they grow into the mountain. When to do those checkpoints and bring that awareness to open up that space to really create a conscious, beautiful relationship or business.
Well, I mean, ultimately, it's communication throughout. There's a couple called the Gottmans, and they've researched this couple from America. They research relationships forever, and they've got a 94% success rate of observing if a marriage will work out or not within 15 minutes of viewing a couple's communication. 94% of the time they can work out if it's going to work out or not. There are predictable things within couples that can produce outcomes. And there are also predictable things that can produce love. And without complicating it, it's really a matter of being so observant of what your partner's needs and wants and fantasies and desires are, what their pain points are, being so highly in tune with that and ensuring that you fulfill their greatest dreams. You work as a team. And then what happens, it's mirrored, right? This is the way you can have a harmonious relationship. It can't be with half measures or looking for the next best thing out there, because the reality is the next best thing doesn't exist, right? Because it's a person being in love with a fantasy. This is the thing. So look, as human beings, we have complementary opposites. Whoever you're with, there'll be parts of them that you love and parts of them that you don't like as much, right? So it's like this push and pull dynamic throughout. Mm-hmm. There are benefits to being single. There are benefits to being in a relationship, right? It's a fact. So it's being aware of that.
Yes, that's true. And also there's another one. What happens when one partner scales their consciousness astronomically because he or she went for that super course or went to Mr. Dominic for the private one-to-one, or I don't know if you still do them, but you have that ability to expand the awareness just like that so quickly and to see this is what it is. And then suddenly you got this epiphany. So while the other remains static or just don't want to move. Is there a way to re-architect that bridge?
Well, I mean, it's again to see what that partner brings to the table and what they're doing. And it's not about preaching something. It's like when you become something and you're moving in a direction, you naturally create this current where that person may want to enter. But also recognizing how everything is spiritual. Like a person who builds some huge company is employing thousands of people, that's a super spiritual act. Imagine the amount of families that person is providing for. They may not be, sitting meditating or in some holy place, but that's a spiritual act. They're providing a service. So if their partner isn't observing in which form they're delivering their spiritual expression, they may miss it. And the other part of it is, if two people are aligned and moving in a particular direction, if there really is a deviation between life paths, it's to recognize that, as opposed to trying to force it to work. They may be just drifting apart naturally. But there's a big difference. So it's about recognizing that, well, a person looking for the best thing or the next best thing out there, I would say that's an immature way of doing things, right? If genuinely and they are drifting apart, well, maybe it's not meant to be, and that relationship was successful. It lived its course, because duration is not an indicator of a successful relationship. You could have a couple together fighting back and forth for 30 years. That's not successful. That's a failed relationship. Duration, it doesn't do it. No, it's got to be something thriving from strength to strength. Of course, it will have its ups and downs and difficult moments and areas to work through, right? But it should have a greater level of happiness and expansion, and both parties, exploring not only the depths of the relationship, but how far they can come. Right. In terms of like the physical aspect and the component, like to take the relationship to the absolute pure depths of sexual expression, it cannot be by exchanging partners. It's impossible. It's like saying you put two like people who are world-class ice skaters together, no, or ballroom dancers. No, they don't just switch partners and produce this great, beautiful performance. It happens with time. It happens with being able to truly understand and recognize those points within your partner and be able to expand upon that and build upon that. That can't happen from an exchange of random people. It can only happen in a union of a couple. It's impossible otherwise.
Yeah, it's like two loving and knowing each other, it's like, and today I had a conversation. It's like, oh yes, because you women are so, you go through those different periods, and it's so difficult to recognize when are you actually at. And I said, like, well, it's so simple. We are very simple. You have to observe us when we are like seasons changing. Maybe not in England, but in the proper, when you have four seasons. When you have the spring, yeah. You have the summer, you have the autumn, and you have a winter. It's the same within our women's cycle. It's exactly the same. If you are aware when you observe, then you are able to recognize that. But if you come to that relationship only for that expression of your sexuality, and then you are wondering why she doesn't want it. Yesterday, today you don't want it. What's wrong with you? It's just like, oh, just stay away, or whatever we go through. And yes, it's like all to come to awareness and to learning and to asking each other questions and saying like something is not comfortable, this is comfortable, I like that. So all the way, all that savoir-vivre, all the way, that law of attraction and everything, it's there. And it's like, it is readable. You can read a man and a woman like an open book, but you have to make the time to actually observe.
Yes, but and again, because we have different operating systems, this is why the observation on both parts is so important, and it needs to be learned, right? In order for a relationship to truly flourish, because like, anyone can meet someone and suddenly have a whole rash of emotions, but no, that anyone can do that. But to have a sustaining depth of a relationship with love that continues to improve and increase, no, that's That's a skill that's really taking time to know and understand that person. Like it takes maturity, like on both sides, and also recognition of the potential of that, the potential that that relationship has to blossom and to flourish into something incredible, right?
Cool.
But that takes detaching from the social narrative, or from what ideas are being pushed on social media, which are completely incorrect, most of them. When it comes to men and women, it's completely inaccurate. It's just projections and pushed and things like that, which is not really what reality is based upon.
It's true. I have another one for you. Emotional audit. What is the most common bug in the relationship code that you've seen in your Harley Street practice? And what is, let's say, one sentence command we can use to begin rewriting the story today? Or like when the conflict arises, or that emotional drama going on, how can we address that?
Okay, I mean, the answer is twofold. Like, firstly, observing how the undesirable reaction or behavior benefits you. Let's say you're with a partner, he's not there much, but he provides great financial wealth, right? But he's providing for the family, he's not there much. You cannot deny that side of it. But then you have the unpleasant part of it where the person's absent, you need their presence. So observing where the good within it, and then the next part of it is, if they're doing something which one finds undesirable, observing where you yourself have displayed those traits. And by doing that, it makes you humble. Like, for example, and then it neutralizes it. Like if someone's driving and they cut you up and you go, why did they do that? And you get angry, but you've done that before. If you think, well, I've done that before, then what happens is it neutralizes it. Well, you take ownership. When you take ownership, it neutralizes the charge. That's the thing. And then it starts to create an understanding where you see how you benefit from that thing, and then you take ownership. You see where you have displayed that. That person's always absent. Well, you may be absent when you're with them at different times. So observing that, so taking ownership, those two are real key things that neutralize the emotional charge. And then the next part of it as well is like regularly looking at where and what were those things initially that really drew you to that person. Because when you do that, it starts to reignite that state within you, because it's an emotional state, it's a feeling.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. It's like how it is, Mr. Dominic. Like sometimes, I don't know about you, just like you look at your or someone else's, like not yours, at your ex-partner. It's like, oh my God, where was my head?
Well, I mean, that's normally when the emotions and the feelings settle, right? Well, one of my mentors said himself, like, the higher the infatuation, the greater the fall. So, like, if you're madly in love, you know, it's about taking yourself to a place where you can be level-headed as well, but you can also have the full expression of the experience of love as well, but also learning to manage where you're at. And then also seeing and recognizing within that, without blaming the person, seeing how you've benefited, what you've learned, without saying so-and-so is this and that. No, they were in your life for a reason. There were important lessons, maybe learning particular boundaries, maybe not, not accepting particular things, or not being transparent initially. Or maybe it was that you didn't communicate clearly your wants and needs and what was acceptable to you and not. Right? If you keep bringing it back to yourself, not as a victim, but you give yourself the power. No, it was me. I was at fault. It wasn't them. I wasn't clear. I didn't have clear boundaries, or I didn't express my wants and needs properly. Then you're in your power. But if it's no, that person's a narcissist, this and that, No, if you're complaining that they're a narcissist, probably you are the narcissist. Look in the mirror, right?
Yeah, I always
And the reality, the narcissist conversation, every human being that has a narcissistic trait, like if it's an exaggerated obsessional thing where okay, then there's a problem. Right?
Sometimes, like what I see, not so much in the men, but usually around the women, that they do come for the sessions and we talk about, oh, because he's like this, he was like this, and and that drama is continuously, like, over and over and over and over again. There is no stop to it. I said, oh, come on, just get over yourself. It's like, how long are you going to blame this pure dude? And it's just like, come on, you are the crazy one here. It's like holding to that story. Let it go. Let's recreate something new. But then it's like really hurtful to hear that from somebody while you still want to be in that pain, not consciously, obviously, because if you are aware of that, you're doing it consciously, then you might be able to shake it off, somehow heal, whatever the wording for that is. So how to help someone to snap out of that situation? Because at that moment, I cannot tell her about like, oh, you're going to meet the love of your life, someone who will carry you on your hands and make the love in the best possible way, because she will go like, are you nuts?
Of course, because again, it comes down to, let's say someone has a bruise. That bruise needs time to heal, right? They need a moment or time to grieve. However, if it's continuous, it creates the potential of recreating a future of that misery. This is why when the emotion is stabilized, and it's a tough and it's a powerful question, what was it within you that evoked that state in that person, that caused them to act to you in that way? So it may be that she wasn't empowered herself, so he overpowered her. So if she was disempowered, well, let's work on empowering you and having you in your like divine feminine, right? Let's have you choose a partner that you have a partnership with, that you can walk together as equals, right? It may have been in an immaturity of selecting a partner that looked dazzling. So you fell in love with something that appeared dazzling, but wasn't true love. It was you. So let's empower you to have what you want, but observe through genuine eyes.
That's difficult when you actually dazzled and you think like you are in love and so on, and your mind is not thinking straight, and you got those pink glasses on and you're enjoying it fully, and you're just like, oh, your fantasy is coming true, and it's just so beautiful. So, it's like, why not have it? I always say, like, have it all, enjoy yourself fully. And but then when the consciousness is coming back, also know how to redirect that, so you not get yourself into the drama or blame game, and so on, because it's not worth it. It's just, the life is too beautiful to create so much suffering. Just enjoy yourself, love yourself, and love the other, and experience that love, or whatever it is right now within that relationship, that business, that partnership, that conversation that we are having. I have lots of fun always speaking to you. It's like, I never meant to share my life stories, and then somehow they do come.
That's brilliant. We have the best conversations there. We really do, Viola. So it's live, enjoy life fully, like empower yourself, like recognize things for what they are, but without blame. And this is where the whole thing of like unconditional love, like non-judgment, recognize your role in everything. It's difficult in the midst of it, but when everything settles, then you're in a position to recognize the part that you played in these things.
Yeah. the main actor, the main character,
Yes.
the main everything. And yes, I think like really getting responsibility for what are we bringing to that table, and what
Yes.
did we bring to that table, and be honest with ourselves. And I think like when we step into that honesty, then the blame from the other drops off.
Yes. And to stop the pattern reoccurring from past pains is to recognize the good from them, and
Yes.
and the good that it ended. If it was a bad relationship, well, then it ended. It frees you up to start to build a future with someone else, right? So but revisiting a story, it's not something to do. It's about like, taking the good, the lessons, and then moving forward, but without the trauma and without the pain.
Beautiful. Oh, do you know what? It's like we're going to thank you so much for. It's like I think we could do another hour with all that. It's flowing through. So thank you for dedicating your evening to share your insights, and allowing us to open up a little bit more our awareness to recognize that we are. Because some people, well, we're not recognizing that we are the architects of our future, and we step back into the drama and trauma and so on. And today, within your book, as I always open it when we are having life or going to have life, and I open randomly. And I read that, and I was like, oh my God, this is so beautiful. I didn't see that before. And because I know you for quite a while now, and it's just like I still get like, oh, I'm so grateful for the universe to kind of redirect you onto my path, and I can learn from you, from the best of the best. So thank you. And what I've seen today as a dedication, and I don't know if it's because I'm very emotional, I always cry. So Liana, the one who taught me unconditional love and non-judgment. This was the book I wrote for you. Your heart and spirit will always be my life's anchor. And if I were 1/1,000,000th as flawless in your eyes and heart as you will forever be in mine, I know I have lived a life worth living.
It was the book that I wrote for the love of my life, and tragically she passed away in 2021. But again, it's this is why I press so much about unconditional love and non-judgment, you see. But it ignites something, within all of us. Like it puts us past any fears, any limitations, and love never ends. But thank you for saying that, and for sharing my dedication from my book, Life on This. It means a lot.
Yeah, because like here, it's like when I take this book, Endgamers, Architects of Destiny, it's like first moment it was like, yeah, how to manifest my dreams to reality, how I'm gonna get this beautiful house, this wonderful marriage, this wonderful and whatever. I was like, I got this like, oh. Whatever I had this like hidden within me so deep that I never mentioned to anybody. And then, having this book for quite a while now, it's like opening today and I see this and I was like, oh my God, this book is about love.
Yes. It's all about love, and like literally miracles have occurred from that book. They truly have. That will be a conversation for another time, but some really quite magical things have happened.
Yeah, it is so beautiful. It's been so beautiful. Oh, so I have to mention that because there we are, where we are. The connection code. Here we are.
Yes.
Construct. Oh, not the one. Like I have so many of those. day conference. Here we are, beautiful. So wonderful people. Mr. Dominic Knight, the mind architect, the author of this fabulous book. You got to get it. It's available on Amazon, and also it's going to be available on our conference, the connection code, relationship unfiltered, where Dominic is going to be, is one of the main speakers. He's going to share abundantly together, maybe with the meditation and so on. I don't know, let's see. So we are in London, 17th of May, back at College House, my favorite place to run those retreats on conferences. And you can get your tickets under this link. I will be posting them, or Alicia is going to post them under this video. And here she is, and she's saying, thank you. See, that's our beautiful co-organizer. And yes, so I'm so looking forward to be in your presence and to learn from you again, to listen to all those stories, and yes, realigning to that what already is mine.
Amazing. Yeah, I'm very much looking forward to presenting there and really bringing some really, really deep topics and transformational. Like every single person is going to walk out there transformed. That's the target.
That's the target, and that target is always achieved. And everyone who's been through your sessions and at Urban Retreat, and anytime whenever you work with those billionaires and so on, and I'm so excited to see all the messages that you sent through your socials, through your page. Here is Dominic's page. So if you'd love to dive deeper, please do so. Here is that knightmentoring.com, and on Facebook and Instagram and TikTok, you are the mind architect.
Yes. Knight_mentoring on Insta as well. And all social media.
Yes, I highly recommend those, because there are those short snaps of those videos from your different interviews that are really the gold nuggets to anytime you need something. Anytime I need something, I just like, go there. Oh, thanks, Dominic. Thank you. So yes, thank you so much for your time. Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Thank you for this beautiful book, and that, that dedication that did something that I thought like, oh my God, I think like every woman would love to have this recognition that love expressed in such a way.
Yeah.
Well, I get emotional. It's like, oh, I see. So believing unbelievable, and there it is. It was here already for a couple of years, and today I discovered it.
And today,
the light knows what you want, and the light will always deliver for you everything before you even get there.
Exactly, like right on time, it knows.
Just keep going. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Good night, and see you on 17th of May. So much love.
Much love.
Oh, that was beautiful. Thank you so much, everyone who was watching. This is going to be available on my YouTube as well, and on the Dominic's socials. And we are so looking forward to see you on Sunday, 17th of May. Get your tickets, and so much love. Remember that everything is possible. Keep dreaming, and keep dreaming big. Sky is not a limit. So much love. Thank you so much.